Bruce Wall's wife. Good evening everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for taking your time to be with us here today. As these two gentlemen before me said, my name is Saul Fraser, born and raised in the Gambia, 47 years of age, but also someone who is just crazy about my beloved country. I'm here today to talk to you about a company I created 17 years ago. And 17 years isn't 17 days, neither is it weeks or months, but a full 17 years calendar year. So in this brief presentation, I'm going to talk to you through how it all started, then look at our past projects that we did, and then bring you up to speed of where we are today and where we're heading. In the same presentation, I'm going to share with you how can one of you obtain one of these amazing developments. And then I'll close up by showing some of our CSR that we're doing in the country. But before going any further, for the interest of those who don't know where our beloved country is, surrounded by Senegal, also named as the smiling coast of West Africa, gives you quite a lot of sunshine and simply one of the best places to live. Now, I lived in Sweden for 10 years. I also lived in England for 10 years. I had the possibility to travel all over the world. But honestly, there's nowhere that beats this beloved country. If I was paid to live here free in Europe, I don't want it. Because I've had the taste of living in Gambia, and I just love it. Because every single day, you are impacting the life of one or two. And we'll talk about these things before. And my company is not only in Gambia, we are operating both in Ghana and Senegal. It was founded in 2007. It was when I decided to finally pack my bags and leave back home. Why that happened, I'm going to share it with you as well. We were the pioneers of the first land mortgage scheme in the Gambia. So today you see a lot of real estate companies offering people to buy land by installment. That is to pay by bit by bit. We started that. My company started that. And the idea I had then was each and every Gambian should own a piece of the Gambia. We're also the first and the only nationally environmentally approved project in the Gambia. Now, the history of the Gambia is vast. You have so many players in this market, but we're the first company that had a project that was approved by the National Environmental Club, because we are caring about the environment. I'm going to talk to you a bit about that later. But, just give me 1 second. It's supposed to work, it doesn't. But we'll get it. There we go. Now I have the right presentation in front of me. This amazing picture is a picture of me and my little sister in the early 90s, which was a life-changing opportunity for me. My mother, who was then living in Sweden, decided that she wanted us to join her in Sweden. But this changed my life. I was getting an amazing opportunity to do something better for myself. And boy, did I take it. I went to Sweden, had no knowledge about the language. It took me 3 months to learn it. One of the key things that led to that was I went straight into a community where there were no English speakers. Everybody was speaking Swedish. And that forced me to learn the language as quick as possible because I wanted to be inclusive. I wanted to know what was happening. I wanted to know what was being told behind my back or in front of my back. I simply just wanted not to miss out on anything. Did my higher education there, did college. But when it was time for me to choose a university, I decided London. This was my graduation at Regent's Business School in London, which is within the Regent's Business Park. This was also another life-changing opportunity for me. I did a degree in international business and marketing, and from there on, I never looked back. When I graduated, I was given an opportunity to join a graduate trainee scheme, which meant that I had a fast track into a managerial position straight away. And I became a very good salesperson. I was managing the likes of Pfizer, BBC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and John Moores University, just to mention some of the key accounts I was managing whilst working at Liverpool Street. Fast forward a couple of years, I was just going through the ranks of the company. But then it went to a point, I had a review of myself. What is the next step for me? Do I want to continue to stay in the UK and just work? Or do I now want to go back home and start my own company? But before that, like they said, great businesses are businesses that solve problems. I had a problem of my own that I needed to solve. Whilst I was in uni, I was doing 3 jobs. Wake up 4 in the morning, go to a sandwich shop, those who prep the sandwiches that you take to work. I was one of those. I would work from there, from 5 to 9, then I'll go to uni. Finish uni at 3, and then go to work at Leicester Square. Everybody knows where Chiquitos is at Leicester Square? Yes, I was making those preps as well if you came there to eat. That was me. So all that money that I had, I saved. When I had enough, I called my mom. I said, Mom, well, your boy is about to get a land, right? My dream is about to come true. And she introduced me to a relative and said, this is someone that I trust that you can go to. I sent all my money to the person. I said, a land has been identified for me to buy, but I want you to supervise this transaction for me. Sent the money, everything was good, but then I decided to go to Gambia to obviously see the land and also get the documentation. Should I say what happened next?
I know what's happening.
So I lost the money. I lost it. But then what happens when you're dealing with a family member and something like this happens? You can go to the police. You can throw tantrums. My mom just said, let's handle it within the family. And we all know what's going to happen. But that anger, disappointment, frustration led me into thinking, why should any one of you have to go through a family member to go through what I went through? What can I do to stop that from happening? And I said, hey, let me set up an institution where people like you and everyone else can go through by successfully, securely, yeah, and with much more value-added service. This is how global was came into being. There were other factors, obviously. I think one of the key ones was when I decided to finally move back home, I started working in the bank, which was Access Bank. The whole idea of this bank was for me to get a quick education of who is who in the country, what was what in the country. Because remember, I haven't been there for more than 20 years, so I was lost. But by working for a good 6 months in this particular bank, gave me, what I would say, a master class. Because each businessman that you meet, and they want financing, what would they do? They will come and give you all data, all the information that you need. And that basically gave me a quick grasp of what was really happening in Gambia. And I took that opportunity as well. Now, I also realized that the age at which people were owning properties was really high. Think about it. The moment you're about to hit retirement or you're getting at a certain age and your joints are starting to pain and then you're wondering, man, how am I going to pay this rent if I'm going to continue to work or if I don't continue to work? That's when you will start thinking, what do I have to do to stop renting? Start building your own home or living your own property. So for me, it was fundamentally wrong for people to start investing in real estate at the age of 45, 50 and beyond. I didn't believe in that idea at all. I thought it was important to start investing as young as you can so you can reap the benefits. Generate wealth, not only for yourself and your family, but for something that you can enjoy the cash flow. 2 years into my business, no, about a year into my business, basically somebody showed me the light and gave me the tap at the back to tell me that I was on the right path. On the left there, this was me winning the Entrepreneur of the Year by the GCCI, Gambian Chamber of Commerce. Top right, AJJ gave me a national order, which is the highest medal that you can have as a Gambian. But he also said something very important to me. That was the only time he ever spoke. And obviously I didn't say anything much, I was just listening, you know. He said, Mr. Fraser, my government is behind you. We will support you all the way. But promise me one thing. Do not let your Indian partners to overmuscle you. As a young man, hearing those words gave me an extraordinary boost. I said, hey, you know what? Not only am I being recognized by the Gambian Chamber of Commerce, but now the head of states is aware of what I'm doing. He's encouraging me to move forward. I shouldn't look back. I also had the opportunity to travel to Asia as a winner of the Entrepreneur of the Year, to network and meet with Asian people, and to learn quite a lot. Now, fast forward, one of the things that I'm extremely passionate about is branding. So the moment I made a clean $1 million, guess what I spent it on? This will surprise a lot of you. But I went on to buy a brand new Range Rover Sports. It was a dream come true. And then some will say, he's starting flashing now. You know, he's eating all his capital. He's probably gonna close his business in the next 6 months or so. But the reason why I did this, it's image. It's extremely important in what you do. Now imagine you have your Scottish pounds and then you have them in a big bag, come to meet me. I pull up in a gele gele or a saret. Will you give me your money then? No. You look at me from top to bottom and say, hey, this man, I'm trusting. But to do what I do, not only do I have to dress well, I have to speak well, and I have to look the part, but also do the part. And I did that. made sure I delivered high quality housing at an affordable price. But when you come to me, I'll make sure that it will be the last stop for you because I will give you exactly what you want. Just a quick overview now of some of the projects that we've been involved with. This was the famous Paradise Estate, which we did about 180 houses. But in this particular development, something really happened. We broke the barrier where people thought they couldn't live in an estate. They didn't want a house that looked like everyone else's house. Because these were the challenges that we were having to overcome. But it's now one of the most famous estates in the Gambia. After that, we moved to another development called Paradise View in Salaji, also sold out. Then we had Sun Beach Village, which is in Sanya. At that point, this was the biggest development in the country. We had over 500 plots of lands and site and services together with Swan Media International. Then we went to Baraka Estate, which is in Backwater. And then Aquaview. Sorry, before that, we did one of the first apartment complexes, which was in Senegal. This one also gave us the confidence that we are now in the right path in terms of apartment development. We started this project, and within 6 months, it was sold out. Before we even went to 20% construction, it was sold out. And I think it's because of one, the location, the affordability, but then it also gave the right signal that Gambia was ready for apartment development. Then I also went into affordable housing, which we did 200 units in 2 years. It also became a very successful project and has led me to now do another project similar to that, but 700 houses instead of 200 houses. I'll definitely come into that as well. And then we did Aquaview. Over 150 apartments consists of 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. And now people are enjoying their holidays here. These apartments are renting for 100 euros per night. A good month will give an investor 1,000 euro return every single month. If you have an annual rental agreement with someone, minimum you get 10,000 euros. And at the time we were launching this, we were selling the 1 bedroom apartments for 50,000 euros. So which means within 5 years, you get your money back and the property prices appreciate. Today, if you want a 1 bedroom in this particular development, it will not cost you nothing less than 90,000 euros. So within 3 years, the price has doubled. And if you have rented it from the beginning, that means you've recovered 30,000 of your investment, and you only have 20,000 to go for. At the same time, we also did Colo Lisansi, which is high-end luxury. And this particular development is also sold out. Today, if you come to holiday in Gambia, and if you don't stay at Colo Lisansi or you don't stay at Aquaview, you're not staying anywhere. Because this is where people want to be, to flex their muscles and show they're rich. They are rich friends. Yeah? So this is the past. This is what we did a couple of years back, right? And now, I'm here today to share with you the amazing investment opportunities that we have. And one of them, the one I'm going to start with, is the one called the Lakeview. This particular development, it's right in the heart of Kotu. It is right on the highway, opposite the Kotu police station. It is just by the Chinese restaurant, the Bamboo restaurant on the highway there. And we do have a lake in Gambia, by the way, and it's called the Kotu Stream Lake, and this development is right there. We're having a combination of a studio apartment, a 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and a 3 bedroom apartments. And they're starting from just 58,500 euros. And all you need to do, and this is, okay, I wouldn't want to repeat it to bore you, but all the projects that I'm showing you here today, all you need to do is to put down a 20% deposit. The balance you can pay over 2 to 3 years. If you want a longer term financing, then obviously I'll share how to go about that at the end of the project, where will you roll the bank. But what you see here is interest free for 2 to 3 years for us, with us, and then if you want a longer financing that we can go into a bit later as well. Now, in terms of room sizes, you hear a lot of people saying, oh, your rooms are small, this and that, but trust me, it does what is invested for. This is a typical bedroom where you can fit a 4-door wardrobe and still have a lot of space to move about, and then have a balcony on that side. All these apartments now is standard. It comes with a fully fitted bathroom, a fully fitted kitchen, and we're in partnership with a company that does furnishing as well. So you can also have a fully furnished apartment that can come with it. How is also simple. As you sign the agreement to buy the apartment, you can also sign a furnishing package that you can pay by installment. So by the time the apartment is ready, it comes fully furnished. These are some renders to show how it can look like. And this is a typical render for the studio apartment, how it's going to look like. As you enter, you have the kitchen on your right hand side, and then this is the dining table here. Then you have your living room, where you can sit and watch how Arsenal will beat United going forward. You know? And then you have your bedroom at the far end. And this would be the balcony overlooking the lake, obviously. Now, when driving from traffic lights going towards Gambian, this is the view that you're going to see from the highway. And as you enter the development, this is how it's going to look like. So as you can see, all these apartments facing this way will not only have a pool view, but it will also have a lake view. And the apartments on this side will have the lake view, the forest view, and also ocean view if you're on the 3rd floor. In this particular development, not only do we have a pool, we have a restaurant, a gym, a mini market, and a salon. All this green space that you see as well, it can be used for playground for the kids, and just somewhere that you can sit and read and enjoy your place. At the back of the development, we have the car park there, but also in front on the highway, there's also a car parking space. Currently, well, not currently, this picture was taken before I left for the tour. It shows that the work has started, and we are at 25% in terms of development space, but already we have sold over 65% of this development. It is down to one thing: location, location, and location. Because it's just right. You have the new Burton Highway, and you cannot have anything better. Today I'm going to share with you, I think, 4 apartment complexes. This is one. Then I have, 5 apartment complexes, and then I'll take you through other developments as well. At Baraka Estate, like I mentioned before, although the houses are fully sold out, we were able to build another 25 apartments. Out of these, 20 of them has already been sold, and we're looking to sell the other 5 so we can exit from this project and move to another one. Here we have a combination of 1 and 2 bedrooms, no 3 bedrooms at all. And they started from £50,000 for the 1 bedroom and £58,000 for the 2 bedrooms. The good thing about this development is 5 minutes from Senegal, very close to Senegal, as you know. It's just behind the SOS. And these units are actually ready. So you can buy today and move in tomorrow, or buy today and put it on Airbnb and start making your money right away. And this is how the apartments look like. Then you have a fitted kitchen, different angle, and then a sample of how the living room can be furnished. And the size of the master bedroom. Again, your wardrobe on the left, a cabinet, and then the door to the master bedroom. We're also developing, together with Swami India International, the tallest residential development in the country at the moment. 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 1 bedrooms. And they start from 46 square meters to 100 Prices starts from $75,000 or £58,000 to £122,000, depending on what unit that you buy. Construction started already, and we're looking for completion at 2027. This one is just right next to Aquaview, and it's just 3 minutes walk to the beach and a minute walk to Coco Ocean. So far, we've sold over 60%, and it's the view that does it for me. Because on the right-hand side, you have the Monkey Park, then on the left, you have Coco Ocean, but right in front of you, you have the amazing Atlantic Ocean. In all the developments that we do now, we take into consideration people that are investors and who are living abroad but need someone to manage it for you. I'm going to talk about management a little bit later, but this is to give you an idea of the left there, the lady sitting at the reception. Let's say you are running your Airbnb and you have a client that comes in. You can just send an email to this lady and say, hey, my guest is coming on the 1st of December, and I want you to check them in and check them out when they go out. And that is what the purpose of the reception is. It also manages the complex to make sure that there's enough water, electricity, and whatnot. But then on the right-hand side, we also have a meet and greet area where you can quickly meet your guests who you don't want them to go upstairs. And they'll just have a chit-chat, and then they can move on. This particular development also comes with an amazing rooftop restaurant where you can sit and enjoy your wonjo or dita or baobab for that matter, and just have an amazing skyline. In all these developments now, minimum swimming pool is a requirement. And then here is a view. If you choose well, you'll have not only ocean view on the left, but you also have a forest view, which is the Monkey Park. So here are some renders about the interior and how it can be furnished. A standard that you will meet anywhere. We also have gyms in all the developments, which has also become a standard. There's another development called the Diplomat. This is just by the Independence Stadium. Again, the same concept, between 1 to 3 bedrooms, and they start from £83,000. The construction of this particular one has gone the furthest, because now we're at the finishing stage, and by next year, you can move in. The concept that we're trying here is live, walk, and relax. So we have 2 developments. One is residential, the other one is commercial. So if you want to rent an office and then live on the other development, you're welcome to do that. But this is a view. The company that we're working with in terms of furnishing, it's called Emporium. They've been in the Gambia for generations, but they're really, really good in interior designing and making sure that customers get exactly what they want. And that is the view of the 2 towers. There are 2 more apartments complexes I want to show to you. And this is the view. This development is starting immediately after the rainy season. And it has an underground parking, a pool, a gym, elevators, and 24-hour CCTV. The price points here starts from £104,000 and then upwards. It's a 10-story development, and it is right on the sea. There's absolutely nothing between you and the ocean, except the swimming pools that you see right there in front. Here's also another breathtaking view in Fajara. This gives you the view from the side apartments, but having an amazing sunset. And this is how the single story is going to look like. Another interior design from Emporium. An amazing sea view from your bedroom. This picture just give me a reflection of someone being on the Titanic and not seeing any land out, not just the sea, which is just amazing. The last last apartment complex I want to share with you is called Platinum. If you're looking for extra luxury at Cape Point, this is the place for you. Yeah. Yes, they start from £200,000 or €235,000, but it's luxury at its best. This one is also starting after the rainy season, and we're looking at completion in 2029. Internal renders for the kitchen, fully fitted kitchen. Breathtaking view overlooking the ocean. And a sample of the master bedroom. Like I said earlier, you can develop all these amazing developments, but it wouldn't mean anything if you don't have someone to take care of it for you. In all these developments that we do now, we introduce something called the management fee. I think everybody living here is aware of it, either in the form of a council tax or another way of servicing your apartments or your developments. So each apartment owner will be committed to paying the monthly maintenance fees. The management fees goes for security, cleaning, gardening, pest control, standby generator, CCTV, and just general taking care of the property. At the moment, if you have a studio apartment, it will cost you just €60 per month for the management fee. For the one bedroom, I think it's about €80. The highest that you will pay is about €120 per month. That is if you have a 3-bedroom, because the bigger space that you occupy, the more you pay. Now, traditionally, in Africa, we have a big problem in terms of maintenance, maintaining properties. I'm sure this property has been standing here for hundreds of years. How was it possible? We have decided to introduce something called the asset fund. It's like an insurance policy, which each apartment owner pays once. So again, if you own a studio apartment, you pay about €1,000, but it's just once. And then the more apartments you have in the development, the more asset funds you can gather. But these funds are not meant for the housing developers. It is meant for the management company, but also the homeowner association. Now let's say post-warranty period, at some point the developer is going to exit and then go to other developments. But we want to make sure that we leave you in a good hand so that if a major repair needs to be done, let's say in a development that has elevators, in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time you want to change the elevator or do a general maintenance, those are the funds that you're going to dip into to get these things done, rather than knocking on each homeowner's door, asking them to contribute. So we're not only thinking for today to make money and exit, but we're making sure that when we pass these buildings in the next 15, 20 years, we still know that they are in good cares and they're being taken care of. Like I mentioned earlier, the environment is extremely important to us because traditionally we are seen, and when I say we, I mean the real estate companies are seen as the biggest threat to our environment because we cut trees and build houses. The more trees we cut, the hotter it gets. So when we approached the NEA, the National Environment Agency, and told them that we wanted a national environmental approved project, they were very surprised. They said to us, well, Mr. Fraser, we've been here for a very long time and we've never had any real estate company come to us for this purpose. We told them that the environment is very important to us, not only for us, but for generations to come. And they said, well, it's a tough ask to get an environmental approved project. I said, well, we're willing to go through the criteria. They asked us to get an international consultant, which we did, who charged in US dollars, so we had to pay. We didn't mind. But it took the person 6 months to do a thorough assessment of all the villages surrounding our project, just to see how it's going to impact them. When they did that, they looked at employment, they looked at the environment, everything like that. They came back with a few recommendations. And one of those was, for each tree that we we cut down, we have to plant 2 more, either within the same site or within the neighboring communities. This development is massive. We're doing 700 units on this particular development. A combination of site and services, so which means you can buy the land and build for yourself. Or you buy the land and you give it to us to build for you. Or the third option is to buy ready-built houses, which I'm going to share with you. The condition of the National Environment Agency led us to also partner with ST Gambian. One of his dreams, or one of his projects, is to plant 1 million trees in Africa. So we thought it made sense to partner with him, where we went on a tree planting exercise. We did this in Greenville, and we continue to do that to meet the requirements and beyond. In Greenville, like I mentioned before, you have the option to buy a piece of land. If you're paying upfront, it's $400,000. If you're paying by installment, all you need to do is put down 30%, and then the balance you can pay within 24 months. This development comes with a lease property. It has water and electricity, and we fenced the whole 36 hectares to make it a gated community. So we invested heavily, and we also did the road from the highway all the way to this development site. Like I said, when I first started, my dream was to get each and everyone to own a piece of Gambia, and I mean this literally. And this is why I'm encouraging, if you have kids here who doesn't have any plans to go back home now, invest in these lands and give them the opportunity of a head start. Anyone who remembers back about 5-10 years ago, if you wanted a piece of land in Brussels, it would cost you almost nothing, or maybe 150,000. Today, 10 years later, you wouldn't pay for anything less than $3 million to get a piece of land in Brussels. So it's important to invest now, not only for yourself, but for your kids, and give them the opportunity to say, no, Dad, I don't want to live in Uganda, I want to go somewhere else, but do not deny them this particular opportunity. We also have these amazing bungalows that we're selling at just under £40,000. When I checked yesterday, it was around £38,500 if you're paying upfront. And here we're doing 3 bedrooms built on 76 square meters. And these are newly built and are ready to move in. We started with 9 properties, and all the 5 are fully occupied, and only 4 I think is remaining by the time I left Gambia. So I'll have to check if there's anything that's been sold since then. But most of the people living in this particular development are off-grid, so which means they're not using any mains electricity. They're using solar, borehole, for living there, which gives an amazing view. This picture was taken about a year ago, but this is just to give you a feel of how nature surrounds this amazing place. Very little pollution, you have amazing trees, and the fact that we've gated the whole community stops the unwanted animals to be here, so you can plant your trees and you can do amazing stuff in this particular development. This is just to give you an idea of the 3-bedroom, how it's functioning. You have an open plan on the left-hand side, where you have the living, the kitchen, and the dining on one side. And then on the right-hand side, you have the master bedroom, which is ensuite. And then you have the 2 bedrooms sharing the other ones. With 70 years experience, we also realize that there are certain customers who do not want to live in a big estate for whatever reason. And recently we've started developing pocket developments where we have either 2 houses or 3 houses in one particular area. And this particular area that I'm going to share with you today, this is in Fajara, just by the MRC, where we're building this amazing 4-bedroom house. It's a single unit, so it means you have your own gated community in your own house. There's nothing to share with anyone else. And this is a typical layout of this development. It's 330 meters square with large space, livable space. So you can park 2 to 3 cars here easily without any issue. Then you have the house in the middle, and then you have the option of a pool and a wet bar and an outhouse at the back. This is a view when you're looking from the back. This picture is more clear. So you saw the front. This is how the rear back is going to look like. The tall building, or the short building on the right, is where you have the outside kitchen and a boys' quarter. And this side here is where you have the wet bar and the pool room. After 17 years in business, we felt that it was time for us to migrate from being a tenant to becoming landlords. And that led us to one of our most ambitious projects to date, which is to build the tallest commercial building in the Gambia and use it as our head office. Because I believe that I'm doing amazing in Gambia, but to see myself as truly great, I cannot be renting my own office and being in real estate. So I have to flex a little bit of muscles to show really how well we've done. And that has led me to do this amazing 11-story building on the Vatican Highway, where we have offices for rent. My company will occupy the ground on the first floor, but then we'll have reception service. So people who are renting the space will have elevators and another dream that I have, well, it's actually a long-standing dream, is always to make housing accessible and affordable. And one of the things that is stopping a lot of people from doing this is access to finance. We realize this, and it has been a long-standing issue. If you go to Ghana today, they have a bank called Ghana Home Loans. You go to Senegal, you have something called Banque de Habitat, who are giving people finance on a long-term basis. But in Gambia, we do not. So I said to myself, why can't I set up a bank that will do just that? We've got approval already from Central Bank, and now we're in talks with IFC. And this picture here is a picture of me and the president of the African Development Bank in a meeting in Marrakesh earlier this year, where he pledged support to make this happen. So now it's not a matter of if, but when. So we're setting up also a mortgage bank to give people the flexibility and accessibility to borrow at a longer term rather than just 5 or 6 years. But I want to do 15 years, 20 years mortgage. Give the middle class more opportunities to buy not only one, but 2. All of a sudden you can now buy one and live in, and then the other one you can buy to rent it out to give you the cash flow that you need. So please keep me in your prayers to make this happen.
Awesome.
So the bank we would call the mortgage house. Reason why we have this on the right hand side and on the left is where Global Hope is going to be. We're going to occupy the ground on the first, but then the remaining 9 floors, I think 6 are in negotiations now, so which means we have only 3 floors that we have to be concerned about. So we strongly believe in this development. Before I left Gambia, I took this picture. We are now on the 9th floor, if I can count right. Yeah. So we're not too far away from achieving our dream. Again,
Wonderful.
Property management is very important. You are here, you have your investments back home, maybe you have good relatives to take care of it for you. But we also believe that we can do a job in managing not only the houses that we're building, but the apartments that you have or the homes that you have to take care of it for you. So Eden Homes is in the business of managing estates. Because right now Eden Homes is managing Aquaville, part of Forest View, and also Baraka. We even manage individual properties. So if you have an apartment or a house and you want someone to take care of it for you, we can help you with that. Rentals, if you're looking for clients, we can also help you with that. So as promised, I'm going to now go to the tail end of this presentation and talk about other financing options. When we did this tour, we started in the US. We had the luxury of having the bank with us then. It was GT Bank, who were helping people to open accounts and also talk about financing. Again, here are the 6 easy steps that you need to open an account in the Gambia. Sorry, to have financing with Gambian Trust Bank. And we have actually a living proof through Solso, like you mentioned. He bought a property in Aquaville, and this is how it was financed. So you just need to have open a bank account, have a proof of employment, which is your last 3 months' pay slips, and an employee letter or employee verification letter. For me, it's all the same. If your employer can write and say, this person has been employed with us for so long, it's good enough. Or we give you something else to sign to confirm that you are employed. So the first 3 is what you need as an individual. If you own a business here and you want to route it through your business, then you have to show 6 months bank statement and a business registration. Number 5 and 6 is something that we can provide for you. All you need to do is just sign. So the mortgage request letter is a standard template that you write to the bank to request for the mortgage. And then the mortgage application form is the form that we'll give for you to sign, and then we take it to another. It's not complicated. You do not have to live in Gambia to get financing. For a very long time, we provided people the opportunity to borrow money and buy properties in Gambia. Because the properties that we sell to you is what you're going to use as security to give to the bank. So you don't have to provide additional title deeds depending on which project that you're going for. To open an account, again, very easy. Passport size photo, copy of a valid ID, and a TIN certification. If you don't have that, the bank or ourselves can get it for you. And then proof of wherever you're residing. And then to fill and sign the indemnity form. This form is what's going to enable the bank to open the account for you in your absence. The standard terms and conditions, very simple. The repayments are usually on the principal and the interest. In some countries, you have the option to just pay the interest, but here is the interest and the principal. The fees, 1% of the loan amount is what you pay to the bank, and then 0.5% a legal fee. It is advisable that your repayment shouldn't exceed 40% of your salary so that you can live a very comfortable life. So we don't expect you to take your whole salary and send to Gambia, and what's you going to live on going forward. And this interest rate is just subject to CBE rates, whatever they are at that particular moment. It's as simple as that. After 17 years in business, we also have had and felt the need to support the community. So our CSR is very, very strong. If you look at the London Cultural Carnival, we've been supporting it for the last 17 years. The Agueras in the US, we've been supporting them for the last decade. There hasn't been a community that Global Host hasn't support in terms of giving back to support culture, arts, and sports. We're huge in that. In Tujaren, when we were doing the affordable homes, we also helped to train 100 students. This is a combination of male and female that were trained in not only bricklaying, but in plumbing and electrical as well. The best students here were then recruited by my company and given the opportunity We're also giving back in sports. We recently invested in Unique Global, which is the second division team in Gambia. Our objective is to take it to the first division and continue to invest in sports. If you know Banjul very well, you know that you see the army and the police standing in this hot sun when going to Banjul every single day. We took it upon ourselves to build these 2 shelters there so that when the traffic cools down, they're able to go there, charge their mobile phones, drink their attire, and just cool themselves down.
That's amazing.
I do a lot of voluntary work as well, so I go to a lot of schools and talk to them, trying to motivate and inspire them. And I hope you're inspired today to do something amazing. And I also support a lot of other football teams during their inheritance and whatnot. The reason I'm able to do all these things today is because when I saw something good, I took action. And I'm hoping that if you see something that you like here today, you will take action so that the rest will generate at a later date. So this is the end of my presentation. I would love to invite Lady to just say a few words before